Nobody is willing to volunteer for us. Cynthia Bello Mubarak. If you were not on the call last week, you can just indicate so we wouldn't bother with this. I feel like I'm talking to myself in this call. Is there like an issue? You can
Hello,
also send.
good afternoon.
Hi, good afternoon.
Okay,
Thank you very much.
I didn't come on time for the
Yeah.
meeting, but at least one of the things I learned was getting Truecaller. We discussed about safety with calls, and one of the things I learned was installing Truecaller. It will help you get to know about spam calls and people that are like fishy. That was the part I got towards the end. Okay.
All right. Thank you very much. Anybody else that wants to go? It's as easy as that. You just say one or two words of something that you got from the last session. So we'll just continue to this session. You went through the internet, what the search engine was, what sensitive information is, what privacy means to you and how you can control it, what you should post to who, what cookies are, and what it means to your privacy, Wi-Fi and connecting to a public Wi-Fi. We have scenarios and things like that, yes? We connect anyhow, we collect anyhow. Connecting to free Wi-Fi and what it does to your information. Well, for today, we are going into password. Again, I would really love for you to be very interactive by sending a text. It could be anything periodically when I ask or not. That way, I am sure that I am not just talking to myself. Are we good? You could just type good or any emoji or thumbs up to keep me going. Yeah, thank you very much. Now, for jumping into password, the last topic taken was Wi-Fi, connecting into Wi-Fi, things you need to consider before connecting into Wi-Fi. This leads us into what a password is, what password means for you online, and how it concerns your safety. Yeah. Now, as usual, we're going to have a scenario or group of scenarios and activities to keep us related and keep us on our feet, to make us relate more to these things that we're talking about. Yeah. Why do you think a scammer, which we popularly know them as in this part of the world, Yahoo boys, want to know the PIN to your bank account? Or why do you think they want to know the password to your social media account? It could be anything. Good, thank you. We all want to avoid our passwords being leaked to anybody at all, whether or not they're scammers. We have a PIN for our bank accounts because it is meant to be known to us alone for our privacy and our safety, right? How would you know if your password is weak? For every activity that you have online or certain websites that you have your private information in, you realize that you're being asked to have a password, and the passwords cannot be less or short than certain characters. When you're selecting your password, you realize that this site indicates that, oh, your password is too short or not strong enough. You should include more characters or more words. But how can you be able to tell if the password you're currently using is weak? If your password contains only your name or family name, it is weak. I, Hassana, my password to whatever I want to put, I'll put it as Hassana. That is a very, very weak password. Then date of birth. Most people use their date of birth for their ATM PIN combination. That is very risky and that is a very, very weak password. Your favorite club, Gunners for life, Chelsea for life, Arsenal for life. That is very, very weak password. Anybody that knows you with that club can easily tell or can easily have access to your social media accounts or whatever you use that password for. Common words like I love you, I miss you, my darling, sweetheart, anybody that can attribute those words to you as a person has access to that password. Simple numbers or simple repetition of numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 10, 9, 8, 7, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, 4, 4, all those simple random numbers that some people use are also very weak passwords because they can easily be guessed. Then keyboard patterns. When you look at your keyboard, there are certain patterns on each row of the keyboard that follow each other. It is easy to guess these kinds of passwords. And if your password is not up to 8 characters long, you also have a weak password. Are we good? You can just indicate in the chat box. Now, how weak or strong is a password? For you to not stress too much about how safe your information are with the type of password that you have, there's a secured link that you can use to check your password strength. You can log onto this link that you see on your screen currently, and it will show you how long it will take for a scammer to hack your password. It will show you how strong your password is, and it will indicate to you what it means to have a strong password. So you would have to change the password to make sure that your private information, or whatever you deem private to you, is safe. Are we good? We are how many on this call? And the response is a bit disappointing to me. Thank you, Fatu. There's Pascal on this call, there's Rafiat, there's Usman Amina, there's Ibrahim, there's Kazim, there's Gifts, there's Akinlulua. I would need more responses from you guys. Thank you. How do you have a strong password? Like I said earlier, most sites would tell you that your password is too short or not strong enough when you're selecting password. This is a very short recipe for a strong password. Your password must contain alphabets. It must contain lowercase and uppercase and certain special characters like the @ the star, the hash signs, the question mark, the ampersand size, percentage, dollar, whatever. You can have, it must have numbers and be at least 8 to 12 characters long. You can mix all of these things. If you want to use a combination of letters and a combination of characters, you can interchange them in order to have a strong password. This way, it will not be too easy for any hacker or online scammer to have access to whatever you've protected with your password. Now, easy ways or ways to protect your password. You can make use of password manager. This helps to organize your passwords. You have password 1, LastPass, even Google has the safe password feature. So whatever combination of passwords that you have, you do not have to remember them if you have password manager. They just remember it automatically. You're trying to log in and then it goes in straight. The second thing is to change your password frequently, at least every 6 months or every 3 to 6 months, as frequent as it is comfortable for you. That way, even if the certain combinations that you use are being known, by the next 3 to 6 months, it has changed, and then whatever you've protected with your password is still safe. The next is for you to restrict yourself from using the same password for numerous accounts. The password for your Instagram should be different from the one for your Facebook, should be different from the one on site A, and be different from the one from site D. Do not worry about remembering all of them. Once you have a password manager, it will help you save and organize this password by helping you to log in automatically. Another thing you can do is to use the multi-factor authentication as other means of verification. This means that from your password, there's another step to use to verify. Some sites use certain questions that only you only you may be able to answer, meaning you have set this question yourself and only you know the answer to that question. So whoever has access to your password will still not be able to log in since you have that multiple factor authentication. WhatsApp has biometric and even an additional an additional authentication verification. Other than that, once you set multiple authentication verification for all of your passwords, you'd find out that all of your accounts are much more protected. The next is always update your applications. Always update your software applications. This is because developers look for bugs, they look for patches, they look for problems in their softwares, and they fix it in order to give more security to the users. So if you're making use of an old version of a particular software or application, the moment a new version comes up, you ought to update from the old version to the new version to stay as updated as possible with the security of that software or application. And the last thing may seem very common, but not everybody would keep to that. Do not tell anybody your password. I mean, it is a password because you're the only one that is meant to know. If it is a general knowledge for everybody to know, there will be no point for it to be a password. Are we together on this? I'm going to have a response before I go on from this password. You and your girlfriend knows. Okay, this is your family business. Favor said no. I do not know what your no is for. Can you clarify on the chat box so I am clear? Our questions will come after the entire session. But Favor, can you kindly clarify so I know what your no is for? Now, the next thing, no family should know the password. Thank you. Bello Mubarak is busy sharing his password with his girlfriend. By the time you chop breakfast, I hope you will change it then. Watch out for online scammers. This is the next topic we're going to be touching, and it is a very saucy one that is very, very relatable to all of us. I have lots and lots of stories to share on this particular one, but I will try to keep it short so we can all participate in this. Now, have you ever received a call? This person will call your name and tell you where you work, can even call your address and the person closest to you. And after the end of the call, you realize that you don't even know this person. Has this happened to anybody before? It has never happened to me, but it may have happened to any of us before. You can indicate on chat box or share. This second one I have experienced before, received a text message from a number asking me to submit my BVN, that they want to upgrade my bank account for a bank that I do not even have an account with. And the other one is, somebody called me that I just want a government grant of 50,000 naira, and I have to call a certain number for me to be able to claim it, and I have to do that in the next 1 hour, or else I will lose it, for a grant that I did not apply for. Now let's think about this. You're aware of people it has happened to, right? Yes. I'm even aware of this very popular one. His name is Mr. Anthony, and he claims to be from a customer care representative from Access Bank. There's a particular this particular grace is not the one that I'm looking for, because it is obvious that these people are trying to scam me. Their intonation, the way they speak, it's not professional. That is not how customer care representatives speak from the bank, right? And they are always usually short-tempered. When they notice that, oh, this person is not falling into their trap, the next thing they do is start laying curses on you and your generation, when I'm not the one that sent you to be doing online scamming up and down. So it's really funny when I experience things like that. Why do you think they want to have access to our information online? Also, can we list some information that these hackers are looking for? I know that particular one was trying to get my BVN in order to have access to my bank account, of course, but what other information do you think these hackers are looking for? What other information do you think are they looking for? You can just put whatever you think on the chat box.
Or your ATM.
Of course, of course. Thank you. The details on your ATM. Now, I want you to take a very, very close look at these two images. Zoom into the shared slide. You can zoom into it and take a close look. What which one do you think is a real Facebook page and why? Among these two, which do you think is the real Facebook page, the original Facebook page, and why? One or two? You can indicate one or two, and then you tell me why you think it is one or two. After we get a couple of responses, of course, I'll tell us which one is the real one. But for now, I want to know your opinion. Among these two particular images, which one is the real Facebook page? One or two? You can take your time and look at it, but don't take too much time since we're working with time here. Anybody, one or two? Just drop one. It does not have to be correct. We're all here to learn. Elite said one. Rafiat said one. Any contrary opinion? You could have picked, but you don't want to explain why. Okay, pick. Don't explain why. Most of you are going for one. Waiting to do now like this. Okay. Okay. Pascal said number one is the real. Who said? Okay. More responses. One.
All correct.
Why do you think it is one? Even Johnny Fadulillah. Can I just need one person to tell me why they think it is one? Why is it one? Bello cannot see any difference. Okay.
I think it look like a patch of.
Can you take that again? I didn't quite hear you.
Someone is a patch design. Like it was reworked. The second design.
Okay, one looks
That's
like
number two
it was.
design. It looks like it was part. The work page.
Oh, okay.
I think the second one, clone website of the Facebook original website, is not looking real. I think looking at the I think the top Facebook at the top, like I can't see it clearly. Like the second one, like if it was like a big view of it, probably we could identify the differences clearly. Well, I kind of have a feeling that the second one looks like a clone website.
All right, then. That is fine, Murphy's. Thank you very much for your responses.
Okay, yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
You like said it's too same now, fake. Go on.
Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, I can hear you. Go on.
Okay, the second one, looking at the font, looking at the font style where it's written login to Facebook. It's looking different from the font style me I'm used to. I don't know if I'm correct. So
it's fine. You do not have to be correct.
So that's another way I look. So I'm just looking at the font style they use. So the font for school is looking different from the normal font style I know in my school. That's why.
All right then. Thank you very much. Hi.
Yo, from my own view, and the image is not that clear. It's blurred from my own end. But what I want to say is that for us to be able to dictate, because even the hackers now have gone beyond even creating the real Facebook page, but the only thing that will differentiate it is the URL. So if you closely look at the URL, you will understand that there is difference, right? So that's the major thing.
Thank you very much. Our last speaker just clearly pointed it out for us that number 2 is the correct one because of the URL. This is where I'm going to next. Once you expand the URL or you go to the URL of Facebook or any website, you'll be able to tell the difference from the two. But for now, the most visible difference that I can see from here is the quality of these images. Image 1 is a bit blurred. I don't know if you all can see how blurred it is, and image 2 is sharp, is giving more authentic sharpness than 1. But the most important aspect is the URL. Moving on, we're going to talk about what is phishing. Why did we talk about these 2 images? Why did we think about the information that these hackers are trying to get? And why did we have this conversation? It all boils down to phishing, right? Phishing is a type of cybercrime that, targeted. You can read through this text, but I want to be explaining more than reading all of this text, right? The targets are contacted through various means: emails, phone calls, text messages, acting as people who are reputable. They would come to you, they will come as a front. Oh, I am a customer care officer from the bank. Oh, I am your boss from the office. And you would not even know, because this person would sound like your boss, talk like your boss, and tell you things that your boss just told you 5 minutes ago, in order to trick you to disclose your sensitive information. It works as wonderfully as you trying to make a transaction to somebody. This happened to me in real life too, to my dad. He was trying to buy 70 numbers of blocks from a block industry. And he was communicating with the owner of the block industry, which is a female. The moment we left there to go to the bank to make a transaction, he received a call, and this man claimed to be the husband of the owner of that particular place. And all the conversations we had with that woman tallied with what the man was telling my dad at that moment. There was no reason for him to doubt him. That is how my dad lost 70,000 naira. Was it? I can't remember the exact amount of money, but these scammers come as genuine and reputable people and organizations in order to steal money from you. Now, they look for whom to defraud. The most recent ones are newly opened accounts in terms of banks. They target newly opened accounts. If you just open an account with any bank, you're a very, very easy target for these guys. And then they use dating websites, social media platforms, Facebook, WhatsApp, and the rest to get personal details or information. Some of them also do that by creating fake employment websites. You know, most people are looking for jobs or work opportunities or grants, or they will send you a link that federal government grant of 50,000 naira. Click to get it. Or you will see a link of, excuse me, or you see a link of how to get 1 million in 1 hour. Sir, are you a thief? Why are you making 1 million in 1 hour? Sadly enough, a lot is going on, and people will just jump on it, click that link, and the next thing they're shouting at the bank that they've lost all the amounts of money that they have in their account, which is just sad. So this is what phishing is: a cybercrime when a target is contacted through email, phone call, by someone, which is usually the perpetrator, acting as a reputable organization or person in order to trick their victims to send sensitive information, which could be your password, banking information, or personally identifying information. Are we good on this? I've shared my story, and this is another person sharing their story. This particular one is a job. This one is a fake job. I mentioned in the last slide that some get their targets through creating a fake job website, and this one fell using her debit card. Yet another 5,000 was debited. The cloned website showed NIS, but once she imputed her ATM card details, unlimited debit alerts was just following, right? This is another example, but our business here is how to spot these online scammers. How do they appear to you? And how can you caution yourself to be able to know that, oh, this person, not know immediately, to be able to suspect, right? Because once suspicion comes in, you're much more careful. Now, they pose like from somebody you know, like a colleague, a family member, the government. It could be your class, your course mate, your ex-course mate, your church member, or they would come as somebody that you know to try and gain your trust. They also say things to get you emotional. If you don't do this, you may lose so and so. You will lose the opportunity of a lifetime to make 1 million in 1 hour. Come on. They would ask you to act fast. Act now by clicking the link. Go now or we take over your house. Do this now or so will happen. You find out that they are threatening you. You cannot see my screen. Okay. Let me try to go back again. Can you see my screen now? Act now or we take over your house. Okay, it's back now. Thank you very much for letting me know. I mentioned earlier that they are usually short-tempered and lack simple courtesy or manners. So the way, the intonation, the manner to which they speak to you, you should be able to suspect that this person is not even from any known organization, right? They ask for personal information that no organization would ask you for, like your BVN or your ATM PIN or the digits at the back of your ATM card. Then they overpay you and ask for a refund. There was a certain time where they would send you airtime and say, oh, I mistakenly sent you credit, help me send it back to this number. And then they will tell you there is one Baba that wants to pray for you. And then the next thing, you do not know when you're telling them your bank details. A lot of this has happened, right? Now, another is they promise you something that sounds too good to be true. Like I said, 1 million in 1 hour. Why are you greedy? That is too good to be true. Or they will tell you that LG is running a promo, 95% of the cost. Say LG thief their washing machine. Why are they selling it for 95% off? So certain words, certain attractions should ring a bell to you. When they offer you something you want or need at that time, for instance, you're just talking about getting a phone or a phone case with your friend, and then the next thing somebody calls you and say, oh, I heard that you want to get a phone, or so I have one that I'm selling for 1,000, and you deep down your chest, you know that phone that you want to buy is 10,000, but you know that Aruf the wrong belay now. You want to use that. I saw somebody that is selling it for cheaper, and then you go, you send the 1,000, you will not see your phone, and then you're shouting online that somebody scams you. You will not see the person. They're usually very, very difficult to track. Are we together on this? Thank you. Now, tips and tricks to how we can avoid falling into this online scammers pit of hell is do not click on links or text. If you have not ensured that there is an S at the end of the HTTP, I'm not able to, please. When you check on links, let me go back to this link. Excuse me, where is my link for password? If you check this link, no, I'm not opening it. I just want to show you I want to highlight this. This is how every link starts. HTTP. Once it stops here at this HTTP, without the S, it should ring a bell in your head because that site is not secured. And most times, Google will announce or show you that this site is not secure. Go on or go back. If you trust the site and the person that sent you that link, you can go on. But if you do not, if it's something you're not sure of, go back and do your research. But once it has this S, it means that that particular website is secured and you can go on with whatever activity that you want to do with it. Now, watch out for words that are not spelled well. How to gain, I am particular about this, any 1 million in 1 hour, because it's something that I have seen. And the way they spend the million, it did not spend million, no, it's million. I was missing, and the 1 hour, the hour was short to that, like just HR, and it looked so shady, right? So you want to take your time and scrutinize the text, the way it appears, aside from checking the HTTPS. And then try as much as possible to not log into accounts from a text or an email. If you receive an email to log into an account, do not follow through with that text. Copy and paste it to a secured site like Google that can show you whether or not that link is secured. Do not call an unknown number from a text or an email. Again, you might receive a phone number, you will receive a text of a phone number or an email of a phone number for you to call. Do not follow that link directly because it will appear as a link. Do not follow it directly. copy and paste it, because you're being careful. You're trying to scrutinize how authentic whatever you're receiving is, to protect your information. You copy and paste it to where you can easily dial the number, or to where you can easily verify that that link is safe for you to follow. Do not share sensitive information online. Come on, this is the most common of all, but some of us still unknowingly fall victims, right? Like your BVN, ATM card details, and the like. The most recent one, again, I'll keep talking about recent ones for us to keep our mind up on WhatsApp, is once these scammers hack, for instance, now, let me use some of it here. Let's imagine that all of us were in a group chat, right? And Bello Mubarak falls for a scammer and his WhatsApp is hacked. This online scammer will go into the information of that group chat and start picking us one after the other. The next person he will come will be group admin, that's me. He will try to hack my WhatsApp and be the group admin to try to block the entire group so nobody can announce that there's a scammer in the group, right? And what would he do? He would send a group link and say, oh, Hassana, since I know that it is Bello Mubarak's WhatsApp, I wouldn't know that Bello Mubarak's WhatsApp has been hacked. He would pose as Bello Mubarak and tell me that, oh, there's another group chat for us to join, for we the learners of online safety, for us to join this group chat. And when I follow that link, I would receive a code. He'll go on and tell me that, oh, you need that code to be able to join that group chat. Once I send that code to him, that is the end. I do not have access to my WhatsApp group chat anymore. He has full control of my WhatsApp. And whatever he does, says, posts, messages, anybody on that WhatsApp, I have no access to, and I cannot retrieve it until after 10 days has passed. That is the most recent one that has happened to my aunt and a couple of my friends that I know, right? That is why we mentioned earlier that you should have multiple factor authentication. If, for instance, I and Bello had multiple factor authentication and we send that code, if he tries logging into our WhatsApp with that code, it will ask him for another code, which he would need to be able to have full access to the WhatsApp. But once we do not have that multiple factor authentication, your WhatsApp is like, it's gone. It's the same thing that happens with Instagram and Facebook profiles. Are we together on this? Thank you. Online giveaway, drop your account number. As long as the account number you're dropping and you're not dropping your BVN, you are safe. As long as you're not clicking on any link, you're not following on any link to get giveaway, you're safe. Just don't click on any link that you're not sure of, that is not secured. Instead of clicking from any app, any text, any email, copy it and paste and ensure that that particular link you're following is safe and secured. Thank you very much. We're going to be moving to what fake news is. Since we're discussing about online activities, we can as well touch about what fake news is, because everybody is on their phone, everybody is mobile, everybody is moving digital. So we need to know what information that we're receiving. Are these information true or not? Or is it rumor? The online giveaway that they are giving, is it true? Or somebody woke up and decided to send message that do online giveaway in safe online group. Or if you go there, they will give you 10,000. Me self, I will not join. They will not seek for information. So we need to spot what fake news is and how we go about it. Have we ever been in the situation where we'll forward all those WhatsApp forwarded many times? Have you forwarded any message that somebody has sent to you to somebody else, or shared a story trending on the news? The most recent one that was trending from Abuja was what was it? They said they were stealing genitals. Allow me to use this as as a reference, right? So there was a broadcast announcing that all men from so age to be very careful with their movements around certain areas, that they're stealing genitals, and if anybody touches you, you should lynch the person or call the public to that person's attention and ensure that your genitals are in place. There were lots and lots and lots of news and messages about that people were forwarding. You are forwarded. Who doesn't want to make it? Okay. We are going to discuss about that, your answer very, 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 very soon. We'll discuss about it. Now, if you said you have forwarded, right, making reference to when Ebola was still trending, you know, Janet received a WhatsApp chat from a friend and tells her to add salt to warm water. I won't lie you, even my added salt to that warm water that period. I can't remember how old we were then, but we're at home and we all added salt to that warm water to prevent Ebola virus. Janet immediately sent this message to her family and friends. But as digitally aware individuals, we're trying to know what information is true or fake. Do you think this message is true? And do you think Janet did the right thing? If you happen to receive this message, what would you have done? Let's share our opinion. The message about putting salt to warm water and it can prevent Ebola virus. Do we think this message is true? And did Janet do the right thing by forwarding it to her family or friends? If you receive the message, Bello Mubarak, don't answer. I know you will send it. You will send it without even verifying this message. But do you think she did the right thing by forwarding this message? And do you think this message is true? We can just, you know, drop 1 or 2 responses on this particular topic. No response. You received the message, but it was fake news then. All right, that means you do not think the message is true. The message is not true, and Janet did not do the right thing. She was supposed to confirm from the source of the information. We are all literally aware people here, and I am so glad that we're on the same page. Well, what is fake news? Fake news is any news or story that is not true. Some fake news are true, but not 100% accurate. This first one is the news or stories that is not true at all. Some may be true, but not 100% accurate. It may be true by the mention of the people or the parties involved, but when the person has added 1 or 2 extra stories to make, you know, the story is sweeter, it is no longer 100% accurate. It is just an exaggeration. The next is when you receive whatever news, someone said she ought to fact check the information before sharing. Yes, this is where we're coming to. Verification. This is you trying to find out whether an information is true or not before sending it out. Most fake news are shared to create fear, anger, panic, unnecessary shock, right? We should always confirm every information we see before sending it to others. This information I'm receiving, how true is it? Where is it coming from? Who is sending it to who? Who is the bringer of this information? Who is supposed to receive it? What is my business in this particular information that I am receiving? How true is this information? That is how you verify. You question, and you question to ensure that whatever you're putting out there, your integrity keeps in check. So when somebody mentions Hassan Abdullahi, not only fake news now and they pass it, nothing like that. When you confirm your information and you verify before sending it out, you find out that you become a very reliable person when it comes to fact checking, and people trust whatever information that comes from you. Moving on, how to identify fake news, or how to, yes, of course, simple ways to identify fake news. Check the source. The person who writes or send it. The internet is at the tip of our fingers. Whatever information we receive, we can easily look for who sent it. You can easily ask for where it is coming from, right? You can ask yourself, why has this story been written? Most of stories that we see now are stories. Someone would sit down and concocate stories, and it will become a fact because people share it without verifying it. So you need to ask yourself, why has this story been written? And why is this person sharing this news at this time? We can relate during the election period. There was no story that we did not see. Is it about the parties involved? Is it about the aspirants? Is it about the politicians? Is it about even supporters? There were different stories that were passing around, even together with the authorities. Everybody was just writing everything and sending everything. But you need to ask yourself, why is this person sharing these things at this particular time? And then you can now go forward to say, who else is also reporting the story? Once you see a story, the next thing you do is to check who else is reporting the story. Which other channel is this story trending? In order for you to verify the authentication of that news, right? And then you also ask yourself, does this sound right? Snake swallow a little boy in front of his mother's house. When you now see the snake, you see that the snake did not pass one tiny rope. Does that even sound right at all? Fake news are created and concocted to spread fear and panic unnecessarily. So in order to identify it, we ask all of these questions, and then you check online to see if something truly happened. Like I mentioned before, if it doesn't sound right, you see the picture. The snake swallowed 10-year-old boy, and then when you see the snake did not even pass your little finger. It does not sound right. That cannot even be true. Then you check out for false headlines. Most news channels and news lines and newspapers and blog posts, whatever we call them, they put very, very attractive headlines. They call them attractive headlines, but they're usually misleading headlines in order to attract or draw traffic to their web page. For instance, now there was a time where the ex-vice president Yemi Osinbajo, his convoys, one of his convoys cars had an accident, but the headline that was trending there was Yemi Osinbajo's car got into an accident. Many feared death. That was what I saw. I rushed to click, and what I saw was, okay, in a convoy of 10 vehicles, probably the last one or the third one got into a minor accident, and it was just the windscreen that broke or something, and everybody was fine. So all of these headlines will attract you, and some people will just read the headlines, the next thing forwarded many times. They don't even want to check whether it's true or not, right? So these are the simple ways that we can identify fake news and be at the top of fact checking. Are we good? Are we together on this? We're moving fast, and thank you very much. The next we're moving to is cyberbullying and harassment. I'll need more responses because I believe we're more than 2 on this call. Yes, Akinodua, thank you for responding. Okay, thank you for following Bello Mubarak. We have cyberbullying and harassment next. This is also a saucy topic because we unknowingly say things to people we don't know online because we're protected by our keyboards. Nobody knows our faces or our houses. So we end up commenting or sharing our unwarranted opinions on certain people, the way they dress, the way they look, the way they are outgoing, the way they are confident, the way they have certain things that we might lack and we may not be too happy about it. it all comes under cyberbullying and harassment. We're going to touch on that fact and then see what we might be unknowingly doing as individuals online. Have you ever sent comments like you're a failure? Someone will say they are playing or it's cool. You're a failure, you're ugly, I hate you. Have you ever sent it on WhatsApp or Facebook? Or, well, you're a lion on your phone keyboard. Wonderful. Echo. Well done, though. Have you ever posted an embarrassing picture of anyone online? It could be like your friend's birthday, and then you feel like, oh, today is a good day to do throwback. You will now post an embarrassing moment of them eating in a certain way, or an old picture that you know they do not like online. Have you ever done something like that? Now let's look at this. Let us take a look at this. Is this image clear at your end? Is this image clear at your end? It's manageable, right? Please help me manage it like that. Thank you. So, excuse me. There's a new employee in the company and he has been added to the team. This is the reactions that the colleague has in the comment section. I hope people are reading it. This is a joke group with words. Please put her in this group so we can group her and groom the right way. It's just different reactions to a new person added to a group chat. But we would move on to what cyberbullying is. This is hiding behind your keypads online to harass, abuse, threaten, or attack somebody. It could be in a rude or mean manner, and you may be pretending to be somebody else. So people do that. They create fake accounts and pretend in order to spread secret rumors or hurtful messages. The statements can be cruel and it may make others feel depressed and may want to commit suicide. Yes, this happens a lot. Anybody can be bullied online, not only children. However, the most important thing is for us to know how to handle it. Are we together on this? Are we together? Yes, thank you. Back to you, Italy. Thank you for responding. How do you handle cyberbullying and harassment? We're going to use the word called drag. For most of us, I use the X app, formerly known as Twitter. Anything that happens, they will be like, they are dragging this person, they are dragging that person, they are dragging this political party, they are dragging this person, they are dragging this socialite. Do not fight back or join others to drag the person. It may be very tempting to jump up and, post one snacky comment or post one particular cruise because you also want to trend, you also want to be popular. Instead, you can report that post in that application in question. Whatever it is, wherever it is it X, is it TikTok, is it Facebook, is it Instagram, whatever posts or comments that you see that looks like cyberbullying to you, it may be another person's post that you don't know. You may not know the person, but you do not know what that particular comment would do to that person reading it. It damages. It's as bad as they wanted to end it all. And it does not just end online. It can also move towards phone call, right? Recently, I heard in a school, a girl committed suicide because all this, she borrowed money online from this online platform, and they sent a message to her contact and it got to her dad. So her dad was disappointed and chastised her, but she was trying to apologize. He was not buying it and told her that, oh, he'd no longer care about her. If she wants to die, she should go and die. This girl went to drink sniper and she's dead. Now the daddy is wants to run mad and the whole family is in shambles, right? So bullying and harassment can come in so many forms, but what we're concerned with right now is cyberbullying. You say that is the fun in X. It is fun until it comes to you. It is fun until you post a certain comment or until you say something on the wrong side of that app and they are dragging you. That's how you know how it feels. It feels very terrible. It is not as interesting as you think it is, right? But you can report using the report option and be an upstander, not a bystander. Who is an upstander? An upstander is someone who defends people who are bullied positively, meaning that if somebody posts their picture and then a comment comes in, oh, why are you dressed like that? Why are you looking like that? You can say, is it your look? Is it your dress? The person is happy the way that they are looking, and that is all that matters. That one comment or that one statement that you can upstandly say would go a long way for that person. Are we together? Yes, Aisha. Thank you. Any question? This is my favorite part of the slide. Any question, contribution before we call it a day today? I really enjoyed taking us in this space, but if you have questions, additions, contributions, we're willing to take. If you have experiences you want to share regarding any of these topics from the beginning to the end, I am willing to take and explain for you as best as I can. A recap. Somebody is talking.
I have a question.
All right. I doubt if I can hear you clearly, but go on.
How do I know that I am from my video?
How do you know that? Who?
That's what they put it. That's what they put it. For instance, I'm doing good on my system. I'm listening to on my system.
Sorry, can you send a text? You're breaking. I do not understand why.
So say I think you go. Hello, ma. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes, if I'm been listening to on my PC.
You're trying to do what I'm doing.
I'm being monitored on my PC.
How do you know if you're being monitored on your PC?
Yes, that's what it says.
Is that the question you're asking?
Yes.
A question.
Another question?
No. Still the same person, please.
All right then. The question we got, everybody, I don't know if you heard, is how do you know if you're being monitored on your PC? Now, to even be sure that whatever activity that you're being that you're doing is being monitored, I'm trying to share another screen. It's my personal screen that I'll be sharing so that it can, this is Zoom. Excuse me a bit. No. Entire screen, share. I'm trying to like make it more practical so you see. Yes, this is my screen now, right? And this is Chrome. This is my PC, and this is everywhere they are making use to. How do you know that you're being monitored on your PC? You have your Google Apps on this aspect. You have your account on these aspects. When you're managing your Google account, this is private for me, so I wouldn't want to open it for you guys to see. When you manage your Google account, it shows you your time stamp and your location stamp. That means it tells you when and where you have used your Google applications, be it your phone or your PC. That way you know if you're the only user of your PC at that moment in time, or there are multiple users. And the only way that anybody can have access to monitor your PC is when you have followed the link or clicked into connecting to a Wi-Fi. They can now have access to your timestamp and your history and see the things that you've posted and see the things that you have typed on top, right? So when you check through your manage your Google accounts, it has the options for you to check. Does that answer your question? I cannot go further than this because this is my own private space. But does this answer your question, Pascal?
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Any other questions? You didn't get my answer. The line is breaking. I said when you go to your Google account, when you go to your Google account, there is an option for you to manage your Google account. When you click into manage your Google account, there is also a drop-down buttons of different items that you can click on. There's a particular one that shows you your timestamp and a history of what you have browsed on. It's your timestamp telling you when and where you have done what with your Google account. That way you can tell who or what has been going on through your Google account. Did you get that? Is that clear now? I didn't get any response from Favor, but is everybody else together? And do we have any more questions? Again, I'll go through the recap from the beginning. The internet, what the internet is, the network that connects computers together, used for communication and research purposes, search engine to return results quickly. Then what sensitive informations are, how personal it is to you, what should be protected from other people for you. Someone has unmuted and you're disturbing our class. Pascal, I've muted you with all due respect. Thank you. What privacy is and how you can control it, what should you share to people you're meeting at the first time, what you should post to the right audience, who you should post to, what is cookies and what does cookies mean for your privacy, applications and permissions. This is what we've gone through. No questions, speaking for all guys. All guys, did you agree with Akinolua? Because I don't know whether you people sent him for us. So Wi-Fi, you connecting to Wi-Fi. Not all free Wi-Fi are always free. If you connect anyhow, you will collect anyhow. Public Wi-Fi and its risks. How safe is a Wi-Fi for you before choosing and connecting to it? And to today's business, we talk about password, what it means, how you can avoid your password being known to other people, Somebody said him and his girlfriend, they are sharing each other passwords. Okay, that's you and your girlfriend's decision to make for who you want to know your password. And then you can check how strong your password is by clicking this particular link. Recipe for a strong password. We went through this. We went through the ways to protect your password. And then we went through the tactics that these online scammers use. We also went through what a cloned Facebook page may look like and why online scammers may use that. We also went through what phishing is. Yes, we also shared stories and recent cases of online phishing and how people fall victims for it. We also went through how to spot these online scammers. And we also went through tips and tricks on what to watch out for to be able to know these online scammers. We spotted fake news and what we should share, how we should verify what fake news is and confirm before forwarding it multiple times, the questions we should ask, and the facts we need to check to be able to identify fake news, and then what cyberbullying and harassment is. We spoke about reactions and we spoke about the definition of cyberbullying, what it means, and how everybody can be bullied online, not just not only children. Then we also said we ought to be upstanders and not bystanders in order to support people who may be bullied online. And that brings us to the end of this session. I really enjoyed taking this space. My name is Hassan Abdullahi once again.